I will win that screen test. Not because I'm the best actor in the world. Not because I'm the sexiest man in the world. Not because I'm the most handsome man in the world. But because I am unique.
There's no doubt about it. Gene Wilder is unique. He has that magic quality that makes audiences come back for more. Stir Crazy was a box office smash with Gene and Richard Pryor as one of Hollywood's funniest teams since Laurel and Hardy. But then Gene is used to funny company in Mel Brooks, the producer.
My blanket, my blue blanket, give me my blue blanket.
Brooks' zany western, Blazing Saddles, and Young Frankenstein.
That's Frankenstein.
Sorry, Gene. As writer and director, as well as star in The World's Greatest Lover, Wilder delighted audiences impersonating Rudolph Valentino. Whether playing it straight or for laughs, the suave, debonair type, or song and dance man par excellence, the many faces and multi-talents of Gene Wilder can make us laugh or cry or sometimes both at once. So join us as things get wilder and wilder.
That's right, we're bad.
In Stir Crazy, Gene Wilder teams up with Richard Pryor as a pair of innocent convicts in one of the most successful Hollywood comedies of all time.
Nobody has ever just sat down and honestly talked with that man. Poor kid.
Skip, the man is not ready for an interview.
Gene says he's attracted to embarrassing moments like this.
I hate them in life, and yet I know that whenever I play an excruciatingly embarrassing situation, the audience laughs all the more. They say, oh my God, if that ever happened to me, I'd die. But thank God it's happening to Gene. Hello. I'll wait till after he's had a little nap.
Funnily enough, a career built on Wilder comedy began with dramatic performances. Perhaps that explains Gene's two great idols, Charlie Chaplin and Lee J. Cobb. In this rare footage of the TV version of Death of a Salesman, Gene realizes a dream appearing with Cobb, along with James Ferrantino and George Segal.
You're nervous about the game?
Oh, not if you're going to be there. Listen, Pop, this Saturday, just for you, I'm going to break through for a touchdown. When I take off my helmet, that means I'm breaking out.
Wait till they hear this in Boston, huh?
Where are you? You're supposed to study with me today.
Bernard, look at Bert. What are you looking so in
As Gene recalls, the dream started when he saw Death of a Salesman on Broadway.
It was the greatest single performance I've seen on a stage. And then I played Willie Loman when I was 15 years old for my high school. And 15 years later, I played the part of Bernard with Lee J. Cobb.
What are you talking about? With 3 universities offering them scholarships, they're going to flunk them? What are you, such a pest? Don't be... What an anemic.
Okay. I'm waiting for you in my house, Bill.
Few would have recognized this future superstar in his movie debut, Bonnie and Clyde. But many remember the nervous young man whose car had been stolen.
Kids, Velma, I'm going to tear them apart.
What if they have guns, Eugene?
Listen, we better get the police and let them handle this.
Right.
All right, now turn around. Turn around, let's go back to town, and then we'll go get the sheriff.
Even in this first small role, all of the hysterical, lovable qualities that would make Gene a star were obvious.
Oh, my Lord, they're coming after us.
Step on it, Velma. Velma, step on it, Velma. Step on it, Velma. Velma, step on it, Velma.
But his first real break was in Mel Brooks, The Producers.
Bialystok. Bialystok. Oh, how do you do? Oh, my God. I mean...
Just say oops and get out. Not oops.
Gene was in a Broadway play starring Anne Bancroft, the future Mrs. Brooks, when Mel offered him this part. The result? An Oscar nomination.
May I speak to you for a minute?
Go. You have 58 seconds.
Well, in glancing at your books, I noticed that in the columns...
You have 48 seconds left. Hurry, hurry.
Oh, I glanced at your books, I noticed...
28 seconds. You're running out of time.
Mr. Bialystok, I cannot function under these conditions. You're making me extremely nervous.
What is that, a handkerchief?
What? Nothing. That's nothing.
Nothing. Why can't I see?
My blanket, my blue blanket. Give me my blue blanket.
I'm sorry. I don't like people touching my blue blanket.
The fruitful relationship of Brooks and Wilder continued in the uproarious Western Blazing Saddles, which blazed new trails and spawned a new trend in movie satires. This time, as the Waco Kid, Gene wasn't hysterical at all.
All right, boys. On the count of 3.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Don't pay no attention to that, Alkie. He can't even hold a gun, much less shoot it. Like I said, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Brooks and Wilder collaborated again on Young Frankenstein, which Gene co-wrote with Mel. The film was based on an idea of Wilder's in what he calls the magic if. What if Victor Frankenstein's great-grandson inherited his castle and duplicated his experiments with Peter Boyle as the new monster?
From that fateful day when stinking bits of slime first crawled from the sea and shouted to the cold stars, I am man. Our greatest dread has always been the knowledge of our own mortality. But tonight, we shall hurl the gauntlet of science into the frightful face of death itself. Tonight, we shall ascend into the heavens. We shall knock the earthquake. We shall command the thunders and penetrate into the very womb of impervious nature herself. Get ready. Go!
Mel Brooks shared with us a few personal thoughts about Gene.
Yes, Gene Wilder is a fine, versatile, sensitive actor, writer, and director. He's almost as good as myself. He should be. I taught him. And whatever the situation, you can always depend on Gene Wilder. No matter what happens, this guy never breaks up. He holds everything together. Gene is a rock. Watch.
Now listen to me very carefully. Don't put the candle back. With all of your...
That music. That quaint...
I mean, what is fidelity, after all?
Not fooling around?
You're watching outtakes from Mel Brooks's private collection.
Now listen to me very carefully.
You haven't even touched your food.
There. Now I've touched it.
You mean the laboratory.
Oh, Gene, don't laugh.
Follow me, please.
In a moment, more of the genius of Gene. In his first starring role, Start the Revolution Without Me, Gene joined the ranks of the superstar comic actors. For this fractured version of French history, Wilder plays one of the Corsican brothers with his patented brand of hysteria.
Lagging behind again?
I'm sorry, Philippe. I try my best to please you.
How? You can't hunt. You can't ride. You can't shoot. You can't fence. What kind of a marriage is this?
What kind, indeed? You pay more attention to Thor than you do to me.
Wonder why? He served me far better than you.
But he is dead.
What?
Nothing.
I didn't hear you. What did you say?
I didn't say
Just
anything.
repeat what you said. I didn't hear it.
I said
what
nothing.
What did you say?
Nothing at all, Philippe.
Philippe!
What are you doing, Philippe?
What does it look like I'm doing? I'm feeding my falcon.
But Pierre is calling.
Well, I don't care. I'm not a puppet.
Come in, Rod. But it must be important. Pierre is so rarely excited.
More excited than I? You're saying that he gets more excited than I? Is that what you're telling me? That he gets more excited than I?
No, come
My
on.
brother gets more excited than I do.
Not what I said.
Is that what you're trying to tell me?
No.
You want to see excitement?
No!
I'll show you excitement if that's what you want to see.
Oh, no, Philippe, you're much more excited than he is. Far better than Pierre. Better looking, a better horseman, everything. I like you, Philippe. I like you very much indeed.
Thank you. You know, it's always good when we can talk these things out.
Silver Streak with Jill Clayburgh appealed to Gene as the kind of sophisticated, romantic Hitchcock thriller he's always wanted to play.
I can't even read my own writing. I don't do shorthand and I can't type.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a secretary.
Well, how do you keep your job?
I give great phone. Would you like some wine?
Oh, what a question. We'll have a bottle of the Mouton Cadet, 1971.
You do that very well.
I give great French.
But the highlight of Silver Streak was Wilder's first teaming with Richard Pryor. It was a bit of Hollywood magic. The chemistry between them was electric.
I can't pass for black.
Who you telling? I didn't say I was gonna make you black. I said I was gonna get you on the train. Now we got to make them cops think you're black.
It'll never work. Never.
What, are you afraid it won't come off?
Oh, that's a good joke. That's humorous. Like that. May I speak?
This is crazy. It'll never work. Don't you understand?
Are you kidding? Look at that. Al Jolson made $1 million looking like that.
Come on, man. Get congiato. Be cool. Shake it, but don't break it. That's it. Hey, man, how do I look? You look sharp. I feel sharp. You dig? Get down. Get down. Feeling good. Feeling fine. Feeling real fine.
Pryor says of the method to their madness,
I just follow what he does, and play off of him. You have to love him. I think that it's amazing. And we work together so well. We start doing it and something magic happens.
That's my man. I don't think we'll make it past the cops.
We'll make it past the cops. I just hope we don't see no Muslims.
in The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes' Smarter Brother, a satire of the world's most famous detective, Wilder not only wrote the script, but became a director as well, with some encouragement from Mel Brooks. As Gene recalls,
I was in the editing room on Young Frankenstein with Mel, and Mel saw that he didn't have a close-up that he wanted, and he started hitting his head against the wall, and he said, "Don't you make this mistake when you start directing." And I said, "What do you mean when I start directing?" He says, "You're going to be directing. You wrote, you act, and now since you started to write, you're going to want to protect your own scripts, and you'll be directing." Mel knew it before I did.
You're sending round a Miss Bessie Bellwood of Chislehurst, to whom he hopes you might be of some service.
Bessie Bellwood?
Yes.
Are you sure the name is Bessie Bellwood?
Positive.
I see. Well, I'm very busy just now, but this case might present 1 or 2 points of interest. At any rate, we shall know presently, for unless I'm very much mistaken, the young lady's dainty hand is just about to knock upon my door. How did you... Come in, Miss Bessie Bellwood of Chislehurst.
There's a young lady downstairs to see you, my dear. Shall I show her up?
Show her up! Show her up! And stop tippy-toeing around out there. Walk like a man, for God's sakes.
trained as an actor at England's famed Old Vic Repertory Company, Wilder studied fencing and eventually became good enough to teach it. In his first picture as his own director and writer, as well as the star, he couldn't resist the chance to play another role he's always wanted, the dashing Errol Flynn swashbuckler, with foil in hand and tongue in cheek.
Sucker.
The World's Greatest Lover was another affectionate movie spoof. This tango was copied exactly from Rudolph Valentino's famous dance in The Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse, in the Wilder style, of course. Valentino's The Sheik was another model for Wilder. In this film, Gene not only scripted and directed, but also produced and even wrote one of its songs. Wilder's love and knowledge of Hollywood classics helped inspire this takeoff, although nothing like this ever happened to Valentino. With Carol Kane playing his wife, Gene finds an unusual way of discouraging her crush on his rival, Valentino.
Hello, I'm Rudy Valentino. How you been?
Fine, thank you.
See, what you like about me so much, huh? I mean, I just want to know.
I think you know what goes on in a woman's heart.
Yeah, I got that. But you forgetting one very big thing.
What's that?
I'm a sissy boy.
You?
Oh, sure.
That can't be true. I don't believe you.
Oh, no? You don't believe me, huh?
As broad as Gene's comedy sometimes gets, he never forgets to build the laughter on reality. His characters are very human, and his performance is moving, in scenes like this, where he confuses an actress with his unfaithful wife.
You're the only one I ever loved. I loved you, but I didn't know it. I love you now. I loved you when we first met. Don't leave me. Don't leave. Please. Love me again.
Sunday Lovers with Kathleen Quinlan combines all of Wilder's talents as writer, director, and star.
Do you know your way back to your sisters? Are you wondering how to get out of kissing me?
I was, but I changed my mind. How'd you know what I was thinking?
You can see what I'm thinking, too, you know.
It was more personal than anything I've done. It was more satisfying, but it was also dealt more with what is going on in my heart and in my mind.
As a psychiatric patient on weekend leave, Gene is both funny and touching at the same time.
How come you go out with a nutcase?
Because I was a nutcase.
How did you like the chocolate factory, Charlie?
I think it's the most wonderful place in the whole world.
I'm very pleased to hear you say that, because I'm giving it to you. That's all right, isn't it?
In the classic children's story, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Wilder shows all the humor and tenderness that have endeared him to audiences, and proves once again what he always insists. He's not a comic, but an actor like any other, playing a character in a comedic situation. There's no one else quite like him, and practically no one who doesn't like him.
But Charlie, don't forget what happened to the man who suddenly got everything he always wanted.
What happened?
He lived happily ever after.
And that's Gene Wilder.